Up next, we have Mislav Javor, who is CEO of AMPnet, and he's going to talk about decentralized energy trading on aeternity. Mislav, welcome.
Hi, everyone. As I've been introduced, I'm the CEO of AMPnet, and we're doing electricity on blockchain. So the major pitfalls, I'm gonna do the startup pitch thing where I first introduce the problem, then I'm gonna gradually go to the solution, and at the end we're gonna mention blockchain. I think everyone's gonna hate me here because I always put blockchain last, but that's just how it is for us. Okay, utility death spiral. Beyond being a pretty cool name for a death metal band, it's a real thing that almost bankrupted RWE, which is Germany's largest utility. They've had a $3.5 billion loss in 2013, which was their first financial loss since they were founded in 1949. So they're not the only ones. Vattenfall, a Swedish utility working in Germany, had like $3 billion in losses. RWE, the year after that, had $5 billion in losses. So what's going on? Turns out you can't really do renewable energy with the community, so like people putting solar on their roofs with traditional utility companies. What happens? So a person puts solar on their roof, and they get excluded from the customer base of the utility company. The utility company has a lot of assets, so like the power plants, the distribution infrastructure, etc., and they have costs associated. So when you remove people who went to self-production, their operating costs rise, and the only solution for them to keep their revenue is to raise the prices of electricity. What happens then is you create a financial incentive for even more people to create solar panels. What then happens? They lose even more revenue. They have to raise the prices even further. And then the cycle repeats, and it's called a utility death spiral. The end game of the utility death spiral is bankruptcy. It hasn't happened yet, but a lot of them were closed. Mostly they were saved by government subsidies. So there's a food for thought that not really is only renewable energy subsidized, fossil energy is subsidized pretty heavily in the European Union and the United States alike. And the alternative model, which we are aiming at, is energy communities. So those people who are building their own solar, who are self-producing electricity, they don't want to be tied in with the utilities. Why? Because utilities give them unfavorable trading conditions on the market. Sometimes they won't even give you trading conditions. They'll just say, you can build your solar, we won't buy anything. This happened in Croatia, and that's how AMPnet was born. So yeah, lucky for them, unlucky for them that they did that. And yeah, basically, so there has to be a different solution. And the different solution is for people to join into groups called energy communities and register themselves as electric utilities. At that point, they're able to invest into renewable energy primarily and buy and sell electricity on the market. They don't have to get approvals from the large utility companies. They become a competitor to the large utility companies. And yeah, they're like all over the place. We didn't invent the concept. 2,000 utility energy communities in the European Union, 900 in the United States, $50 billion market, blah, 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 but you're not investors, so I won't go into the whole spiel. Yeah, but they got some major issues. Very slow to onboard people, very, very slow to onboard people. Can take up to 5 days a week since you want to join until you actually join. For people working in the digital markets, so you see a project, solar panel installation in your city, you want to invest, and then you have to wait a week to send your money, well, you'll just spend your money somewhere else. So that's the first problem. The second problem is, once you are in the energy community, everything is done with mail. So we want to change your registration name. You changed your last name. Send the mail to transfer it. Okay, it's email now, most for less important things, but for everything important, you actually have to go to the post office, which is not suitable for 2019 as far as I'm concerned. And they're not connected with each other. So energy communities, when they're working, they're basically islands with huge sea of nothingness in between them. Each energy community is producing its own electricity, trading on its own terms in the market, and basically they're all guided by the same principles without a common thread to connect them. That's why we built AMPnet, which is a platform that makes running energy cooperatives and energy communities simple and efficient. So what's it made of? It's made of digital onboarding platform, which onboards customers in 5-10 minutes. You have to put your ID, scan your face, you know, the whole KYC AML thing we've all done so many times. And basically you get a European Union compliance certificate for signing digital contracts, which is quite amazing. Then, once you're in, you want to invest, you just go to our website, like invest.communityname.com, and you put in your details, click invest, and in 5 minutes you've invested. And the cooperatives, the communities are able to sell electricity to their customers, issue bills, do like invoicing, customer acquisition, A/B testing, different tariffs, all through the same AMPnet digital platform. And also, this is the part where blockchain comes into play. They're able to connect with other energy communities. So once each community, what they're doing inside their own community, there's no blockchain there at all. But once they start communicating with each other, that's where we get into the blockchain space. So we built the infrastructure on aeternity, which enables them to basically, a community in France bought a wind farm in France, but they want to sell 10% of this wind farm to someone in Spain. They use the blockchain exchange to do this. We're working on an established, rapidly growing market, but I said you're not investors, so this probably doesn't really interest you all that much. We've got some cool market traction. We've signed two energy communities so far. That's before we even launched our product. And beyond that, our biggest client is Greenpeace. So Greenpeace aren't just, you know, whale-saving hippies roaming the oceans. They're actually a $300 million a year organization funding renewable energy transitions, climate change efforts, etc., etc. And they'll be using AMPnet exclusively to fund all of their renewable energy projects in the European Union, and hopefully, once we scale this, in the United States and the rest of the world. So this is like our platform with Greenpeace. It's called Earth Boost. We've made some promotional materials. You can see our pretty posters and how it's gonna look when we go into marketing. We're gonna have like the billboards and everything. We're gonna do it like pretty cool. And now, as I said, like sugar at the end. How do we use blockchain? So right now, if you want to have 4 cooperatives cooperating with each other, 4 energy communities working together, each and every one of them has to sign a contract with the other one. So anyone who was even remotely good in math in school knows that this scales pretty poorly. So basically, the more you have them, the more interconnections you have, and this becomes super complex, super quick, no way for 2,000 cooperatives to cooperate with each other. What we did is basically this. So each cooperative, energy community, so I'm using cooperative and community interchangeably because they connect to the AMPnet blockchain infrastructure on aeternity, and then they don't have to sign contracts with each other. All they have to do is sign a contract with AMPnet, and we make the blockchain take care of the rest. So that's electricity trading, that's trading their project shares, that's basically making PPAs, which are power purchase agreements. So any way currently that 2 cooperatives or communities could work together by signing a contract, they will be able to do it through the AMPnet blockchain platform. So that's the big benefit of the blockchain, and like we like to tell to the investors always, so that's one of our unique value propositions, how to retain customers. The bigger this network gets, the more incentive each new community has to join it, because they have much more people to buy and sell it to. So yeah, that's basically it, what we're doing. Electricity trading, but not peer-to-peer, but we like to call it peer-ish to peer-ish, since it's, you know, each community has around 100, 200 members, so it's not really truly peer-to-peer, but it's as close as you can get with today's regulation and the way electricity market works. That's it. I'm available for questions.
Yeah, we don't have time for questions in this format because it's very quick presentations, but yeah, you can chat over coffee. So thank you, Mislav Javor, AMPnet. Thank you.